Hey, YouTube. Oh, crazy. Lots of latency and stuff going on. Don't know. Hold on 2 seconds. Usual at the start when I try and work out how to put this on the screen. I keep seeing things in charity shops. I should probably just buy another monitor. I wonder if my computer can run another monitor. Ah, lost it. Where'd it go? Right. I can't get any. It needs to be high. Oh, no. Bear with me. Right, move that up. Grab that and move it up. Hey, Victory House. Daniel, how's it going? Right, we're in. Oh, come on. That's why I come on 5 minutes early. A whole of free cables from Gumtree. Fantastic. Just get your soldering iron out and just go mental. Rocking. Still got 4 minutes. I've been trying to play something really annoying for all day. That bit that said was impossible. I think that's right. Just an extra note in there. Not right. Hey, you've still got 7 minutes. Give up and start drinking. 2 minutes to go. How's it going? Yeah, Happy New Year, everybody. Hey, Alex, how's it going? Stevie, Victory House, Daniel. I was going to play guitar. Hey, Aunt Wales. Happy New Year. Where's a pack? Where's a pack? I've got about 50 packs. A guitar stand from this recycling. Amazing when that happens. I've actually that Hercules one I've got there. This one I got for £1 at a grotty market thing. And I thought, oh, pure one, and it was so disgusting. It was like total. I think I used 2, like just I had to throw them away. Ick. Hey, Kit Kats, how's it going? That'll pay for my bucky. Amazing. Cheers. Happy New Year. 8 o'clock, bucky time. And anyone made any 2026 when Jen managed to get one, got a Les Paul. In fact, get something else. Oh. It's 8 o'clock, I can easily drink it. Oh. I actually have less guitars than I did yesterday. Woo! Yeah, this old one. The other fuzz bass wee guy down the road bought it. It was kind of quite. I wasn't really sure I wanted to sell it, but I put it up anyway. Thought, well, so whatever the money I got for it, I'll maybe invest in another white P bass, but a more expensive one, and then do the same. A Gator 2-unit rack that is retro vintage style. It's like, I don't know, I suppose depends what you mean by retro and vintage. I would normally consider vintage to be 60s, 70s retro vintage, but I know what you mean. So, but a 2-unit rack is so 80s, it's ridiculous, but I suppose 80s is vintage. I will give it that. So I've not been on since Christmas, have I? Or have I? I can't remember. Like an amp head, alright, yeah, I know what you mean. Oh. Yes, I know the thing you mean. I've actually got one left over from that Marshall after the end amp that blew up. I took the amp out of that and I had another one, the one that used to belong to the band Gun, a 200 watt Marshall head, which was in that 2-unit rack unit of which you speak. So yes, that'd be 80s, but yes, okay. I can see it, yeah. Too old to live stream last week. I had to do that. I think Jen would let me away with doing something like that. I was awful. I could survive all right. Yeah, no, it was. Dave's a good guy. What have I just done there? Flipped him below the fret. I don't know. Do some work on that. Picked up a lovely Columbus. Oh yeah, that's a someone there. Jobby Brown, trapeze, tailpiece, block inlays, moustache headstock. Witch Hate. I take it's meant to be Witch Hat, not Witch Hate, because I like them both on neck. 50 quid. Oh, come on. Aye, no, I mean that sort of thing. What are you talking about? I think 335's kind of sitting. I was talking to my pal's got a Jaguar he's wanting to sell, and it's like the reason I don't have a Jaguar, and to a certain extent a 335, they're too expensive. It's like I don't really think they're worth it. You know, you can't really get a cheap one. Obviously, you paid 50 quid for one. You can get a cheap one, but not very easily get one that's good, and that one will be all right. I can't remember. I forget my slant on that, but yeah. 335s, they're like kind of, they're too cool, worth too much money. I've got my Telecaster thin line up for sale because it's too cool. It's worth more money than because it's a thin line, so I don't need the thin line thing. I'll just have a cheaper one. Yeah. This what, kissing Dave Arcari? I don't think so. Looks exactly like a Gibson from the front. You've been doing this out. Oh, totally. I mean, aye. The thing is, well, it just comes down to, you know, it's like the age thing. Once a guitar's 40 years old and has survived 40 years, and it's playing, it's going to be, it must be good, and also it's dried out and all that stuff. Down here, whereabouts are there's no guitars under 150. There will be, you're just not looking in the right places. There's everywhere. They're all over the place. You just have to be. The thing is, it's kind of helped. Well, it's not good for selling them, but it's good for buying them. That how cheaply you can buy like Harley Bentons and brand new guitars. but people go, oh, just get a brand new Harley Bent for 150 quid, and it's like, it's not going to be as good. So, you know, rather than buying things like that, Columbus. It's got a made in Japan neck plate. Could be. I don't know. The only way I know about the thing is unless it says Matsumoku on it, but if it's got that steel adjustable neck thing printed on it, then it is Matsumoku. But if it doesn't have that, it doesn't mean it's not, because they sometimes put it on, sometimes didn't. Seen them branded as Fresher. Yeah, I don't know. I think a lot of these things are sort of geographically specific to where you are. I'm kind of... I pressed the thing. Is anyone watching on the phone? Is there a secondary option for watching it on a phone? Because it said something about dual streaming. I think it's a wee bit quicker. I don't know what it's doing. So if you're watching it on the phone, apparently you can now see it vertically. Oh. But I don't see a lot of Freshers. I do have one. The wee, the Shocking Bird has a Fresher deck. It was from a Les Paul of some description. That I pulled out my pal's bin. But not seen many of them. I think Fresher are maybe one of those ones that kind of end up being... They were kind of desirable. If you know what I mean. It maybe means they didn't make cheaper ones. Because, you know, Columbus did. They kind of got cheaper later on. So Columbuses of a certain era and stuff like that are good, but there were shit ones earlier or later. They're not all good. I think Fresher kind of maybe only made ones like your one. Do you know what I mean? Oh. I can't hang out now. I'm watching the replay later. Just with 40-year-old guitars. Just got happy to hear. Hey, X-Paps, how's it going? Oh. I wonder what... You'd have thought Fresher was a more obvious Fender one. You know, if you wrote Fresher in the sort of loopy font, it looks like it says Fender. Which perhaps they did. But I've certainly not seen lots of them in the flesh. Can't really think of seeing any. Mind you, I'm looking through guitars on Facebook Marketplace and stuff like that. If it's 600 quid, I just don't look at it because we did bolt-ons for the budget. Well, nothing wrong with a bolt-on. If that Fresher hadn't been a bolt-on, I wouldn't have been able to make the Shocking Bird. So there you go. Go for the bolt-on, been the best. Yeah, so I've actually not got that many guitars in here just now. I've just seen another 2. Actually, I've got about 10. But that's better than the 20. I'm feeling quite calmed by not having hundreds of guitars about. Obviously, I have to have this out. I have to have these 2, but the rest, maybe have what guitar of the week type thing. Well, what happens when you use the stadium stereo effect and I put on the chorus pedal? That might be even doubly. How about that, Kit Kats? Is that not pretty exotic? It's meant to be music responsive, but it doesn't seem to do anything. I can't remember. There's off and then 2 on positions. One of them's meant to be music. I'm kind of scared to go back to the valve amp because I'm too used to that chorus sound. Because I've been playing clean, I just don't think the crunch sounds are... The rat pedal sounds kind of funny, so what I did was I set the sound on the pedal. It's also it's also really noisy. So I set the pound on the pedal with the headphones on, hoping that that's what you would hear, because it doesn't sound the same on the headphones as it does in real life, the rat pedal. I don't know why. So it sounds kind of odd to me just now, which is probably what it sounded to you normally. My Holy Grail as well. I reckon it's a bit you could. Oh, I know the one. The triple bucker one, the original Ibanez. Is it? It's the Greco version. Is that a? I'm pretty sure that's an original design. Maybe it wasn't an original design by Ibanez. I wouldn't have thought that Greco, another Japanese company, would steal like quite so blatant. Like they would do a copy of a Japanese guitar. Oh, Kit Kats, where is Phil? Phil is in the other room. Phil right now is within 8 meters of me, but it would be looking through many, many, many guitar cases to find him. I should really sell Phil. Or do I Elixir Phil? Should maybe sell the pickups at Phil. Probably get more for the pickups on their own than I would if I sold them in the guitar. It's like Seymour Duncan 59s in gold. They're probably worth 150 quid. I don't know if Phil's worth an awful lot more than that. I take it like the Lamb is the Lamb. The Genesis album? I don't know. Don't have it. Yeah, Irish palette. You sort of put Epiphones, but an 80s Japanese Greco. That's probably, I bet it is. All Japanese stuff's amazing. Not all of it, but the good stuff is anything of like the Greco's the same, a wee bit like your fresher one, and Tokai. Well, maybe not Tokai now, but it's kind of like you're guaranteed if you find one of them from the 70s or 80s, it's going to be amazing. Whereas other brands, there are ones that are basically the same fucking guitar with a different badge on it, but they often also do cheaper ones, so they're maybe not all quite as amazing. Therefore, you can get them cheaper. Hey, Mr. Whitesnake, how's it going? I'm not as much of a geek to remember what that thing is actually used for in remembering the Sylvester McCoy Dalek episode, but it's definitely something like a brain controller or some sort of brain or something in it. I can't remember what it's called though. Live streamers with effects and lights. Hey Jeff, how's it going? This is your first old Japanese guitar. The quality is unreal. Right, Irish Pilot. The problem is now you've burst the bubble, and it's like, yes, you've bought a Greco, which is a well-known, therefore quite expensive Japanese Les Paul. The build quality of that is the same build quality as pretty much all the 1978 to sort of 85 Japanese guitars, your Arias and Westtones, Washburns, Ibanez. All of them are at the same quality level you're at there, but it's not a Les Paul, it's a Roadster or it's an Aria RS or whatever instead of a Strat, but they're that quality level, and they can be had cheaper. They can be had for cheaper than a new Squire Classic Vibe. Ooh. And it'll be that quality. Amazing. That Yazuki Telecaster, which was over there, is now through next door. That kind of thing. Wow. It was used by the little girl to control the Dalek battle computer. Yes, you are such a nerd. At least you don't know what it was actually called. I'm just assuming it's called the Matrix Transmogrifier or something like that. I do remember it being the one with one of the few Doctor Who's I remember actually watching on telly as a kid, like the first run. Now look at the Strats, I think I need to look at the Japanese S-type stuff. Yeah, I mean, I've got the thing is, it's like, you're kind of safe and cheap if you go for the sort of 80s ones where you would get, like, go for like an Ibanez Roadster or an Aria RS or a Washburn Force. You'll get the quality there because it's a slightly odd shape, it's like a sort of sports Strat, their own kind of design, their own take, a wee bit different, you know what I mean? Still pretty cool looking, but you'll get them cheaper than you will like an actual Strat-looking Strat with your Greco Fernandez on it. But you can get the Strat. I've got one with a brand called Tempest. If it's got a brand you've never heard of on it, and you know what it is you're looking for, you can get pure amazing ones. I mean, that the Tempest one's fantastic, and CSL and all that. They're just the same ones as Ibanez have. Fujigen. Very good. Oh, the S-types and various brands are like this. Plug into the AI, man. Hey. But I think you can watch me in a portrait rather than landscape with new Super Dual Stream. I was playing something. Tell the red. If you're talking about it's not an S type, it's a Roadster, so an RA or an RG. But yeah. Oh, you do say S type. I suppose okay, S type as in Strat type. Okay, because there is actually an Ibanez S type, the Sabre, which is the thin one. Yes, that's a fantastic guitar. Mr. Whitesnake's got one of them as well. That's the best guitar I've got. That's one of the best guitars you can buy. It's the cheapest one, a 1986 RG 140 HSS. It's just absolutely amazing. Yeah, I was playing that the other night in my Roadster video, and it's like it's the best. I mean, it's the cheapest one. So I've got like the lower the number, the cheaper it is. That's a 140. I've got like a 530 and a 440 and a 325. All of them are higher range, but that wee red one's just got something special. Watch a kid watching Remembrance. We consider the little girl was a Davos, maybe. Yeah. Oh, we got the SSS version. All right, that of my 140, so it's a 130 or a 135. I can't remember. It's mine one of. It's not that easy to remember the numbers. The thing that's great about, I mean, I know I keep raving about this Cube amp. It's having the two speakers on the front of it though, so it's not like using a chorus pedal, because it actually does do that. So it does have air movement between the two speakers, which makes all the difference. That's why it's working in stereo as well. 135. It's got a phasing switch on it, which sounds beautiful. All right, mine. Oh, is it a push-pull phase switch? Because mine, I was going to say mine doesn't have that, but I do have a push-push. Because mine's an HSS, so it's a coil split. I wonder if is it a phase on that one? I know they used to put phases on the Blazers and stuff like that. Hey, Ben! It's just incidental music from any 80s film, innit? And you just use the chorus. Oh, I know the one you mean. Yeah, it's just it works in positions 2 and 4. It'll just reverse the middle pickup. The funk thing, but it's one of those things that, I mean, I suppose you've got to build it, but I mean, I think you know one of these ways of looking at it is, well, why not have that switch? It's like, well, I don't think I'll use it very much. Well, okay, will you use it ever? And it's like, if you're building a guitar, it's going to add 50 pence to the build of the guitar. It's just, it's just wiring one switch, so it's not that difficult back in the day. So they did that just so you had more options. In fact, I think it's a sensible thing. I like it because it kind of shows that they're not just doing something to get money. I don't know. It's mad. Aye. Round 1,000. I think it's the same guitar. Like literally, I'm pretty sure that the 1T5 is exactly the same guitar. It's just that mine gets the scratch plate with the HSS on it, I think. My pal David's got an amazing Jarrock guitar, which is kind of, it's like an off-brand, but it's blatantly that level of roadster, but it's kind of a bit more it's a bit squarer. It's not as contoured. It's a little bit pointier, and the headstock's a slightly different shape, and it's like a glitter emerald green. It's fucking amazing. But that's the 3 single coil one. If you ever going to sell that, I might be. I wonder if you. How do I get that? No, I'd have to get rid of one of my guitars. Well, would I do that? Have a guitar that he would want. I think I got it. I got my mum it for her birthday at the Forbidden Planet about 30 years ago, or 20 years ago. And then when I moved house, I just took it back. I was surprised it works. Although it's meant to have a. I'm sure it can't do you very much good. It's maybe not helping the noise in the pedal, but yeah. Plasma ball. Hey, Big Ped, how's it going? Oh, am I going to be able to try and... I think I'm going to go a little bit further with, the sort of wanky playing clean thing. I think it's partly to do with just like this guitar, where it's because it's an expensive one and it doesn't sound like any other one. If you put distortion on it, you're taking away some of its sound. I've been playing along with a mad medieval band that my pals went to see Richie Blackmore's Night in Glenrothes Hall about 20 years ago, and the support band had these, I think they're called Mizmar flutes, like sort of snake charming type instruments, and we bought their CD, and I was playing along with it today. It's amazing. It's all mad scales. It's that... rainbow but I was playing that's the Rainbow song. Anyone got a bike? They'll swap for a guitar. There was a guy trying to buy a wee Ashton bass amp. No, wee Ashdown bass amp off me yesterday. He was trying to offer money, and I was like, I don't know. And he was trying to swap it for his good pedals. I was like, sorry, I'm not really into pedals. I'll swap it for a bike. He's like, do you have a bike for sale? And I was like, I'm 6 foot, it's for me. And he's like, oh, it's a kid's bike. But I'm determined to get a bike at some point. I just don't want to pay very much money for it. When I get a bike, I'll take the car to get serviced. I try to play that gothic and I can't remember what any of the tunes go like now. I can't remember the patterns. Yeah. Is it figuring? Well, there you go. Yeah, no, there's a couple of songs that actually worked out how to play quite well, and I completely can't remember them at all. It's mental. How's it go? How does that go? Oh, what we got to Yeah, I'm just gonna give up at that. Nice bike. It'd be great for you. And well, that's the thing. I'm sitting there in Holland with all the canals. Having a bike's fine in Holland because it's flat. You know, just kind of the only hills you've got are the wee bridges that go up and over canals. The rest it's just flat. Here it's shite, but all my pals, everyone lives in Kirky, which is basically along the canal, which is flat. So yeah, a canal would be good. A canal would be good. A bike would be good. I think. If you cycle it up, I'll give you a lift back. Is that how you do it? I don't know. I think back in the day, it is possible to drive to Holland. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. I think maybe not. I mean, to get my passport renewed. Hey, Sloaney, how's it going? Happy New Year. Kitty Cats gave me a fiver, so I turned on the plasma ball. To mesmerise and enchant. You said the word mesmerise. I hadn't read that. I wish it was bigger. The thing is, it's kind of a wee bit down there and not very. I don't know if I didn't think it would show up in the camera. I wonder if it would show up there. I don't think it's dangerous. It's only got a 9-volt plug thing on it, so I think it's actually running off a Boss adapter. But maybe if I put the correct adapter into it, maybe it does respond to sound. Angus and Malcolm was that band. What was the band? It was the Easy Beats. George Young. Hey Dave, how's it going? What was the thumbnail? Oh, the thumbnail was just like a big bucket ship, and that was just in my random photos because I sent normally I take a photo on my phone of whatever my thumbnail was going to be, and then I sent it to somebody, and then I download it from that to get it as small enough to use as a thumbnail, and then I just basically posted it from my phone, and then when I was doing it on a computer, I didn't have, so I just put a random picture. Mesmer was a hypnotizing magician, hence our word. Really? Alright, okay. At the gadget shop, I said it was the Forbidden Planet. But not the gadget shop. No, what was the shop before it got cooler than that? Was it Stargazers or Star Chasers? There was a shop that did that, and I think it used to be. I remember going to it. I must have been like, I don't know, 14 or something like that, and it was like a big shop, and it was somewhere on Byers Road or Great Western Road, whichever one it is. The one that doesn't have the one that doesn't have the uni on it. Jim Egypt's on it, whatever that one is. I remember it being on there, and then I remember it being in the St Enoch Centre, which I have not. Is the St Enoch Centre still there? And it was called Stargazers or Star Chasers, and it did all that sort of shit. I don't think they were cheap. I don't think of it. It's like I have memories of seeing them somewhere at like 30 quid or something like that. But I think when on closer inspection, they were only that size in plastic. That one's, a reasonable size. So probably quite expensive. I mean, upgrading your wee boat. Oh. Was that a shop for local people? Yes. Don't know, there is a wee bit of that kind of kicking about here. We're almost in the region of village shops like that. Out here in the sticks, Kilseath. I know. I saw the guitar, a bass earlier on. And the guys, was happy. I'll get, if I'll, I can come and pick it up within the next hour, sort of thing. I'll just get a bus, and it's like, Peter, look, man, it's Kilsyth. I don't think there really are any buses on a Sunday. And he's like, Peter, no, I'll see if I can get a lift then. And I was like, where are you coming from? Thinking, I don't know, mate. Is it Queenieburn, which is literally, I don't know, it's probably 2 miles, but it's 2 miles along a straight fucking main road. So it was like, I don't know, 3 minutes door to door. So I delivered. No, thanks for doing it. Literally, it took 2 minutes longer than going to the shops. Dealy Boppers, the thumbnail, yeah, ratchet. There's an advert above the chat box, so it's either scrolling down to chat or watching and saying nothing. That's annoying. There must be a way around that, Sloaney. Can you not? Well, I don't know. Do you have an option to watch it? If you're watching it on your phone, can you... I'm dual streaming. Yes. So apparently there's a phone version. I can see the two of them on my screen over there. So there's apparently like a widescreen one, and then there's a sort of one that's only that wide. It's out of sync. Aye. Yeah, in the country, yes. Well, aye. Basically, if you go, I don't know, as the crow flies, 200 yards that way. North of that, there's nothing for, well, I don't know, of any significance. Basically, that's just right up the centre bit of Scotland. There's like a couple of reservoirs. I suppose Stirling's kind of over there a bit, but then if you go straight up, I don't think you go through anything. It's just hundreds of miles of moorland. Oh, the plasma ball things. I remember seeing them in Argos. I think it's one of those things that when they first came out, they were like £100, and it was like, oh, they're pure amazing. He's sitting there in like the all black, 80s room with that thing going in the corner. I'm annoyed. I need to take to bits and see if there's maybe. It was fucking manky. Thing's not been on in 20 years. Try and get it to pulse with the music. That'd be pretty cool. On your laptop, I don't know. I don't know how to help you, Sloaney. There must be some way of doing it. I don't know. Good farmland? No, not really. No, it's moss and heather and hills. It's like the Romans never bothered going any further. They went sort of big. Have you seen Game of Thrones? Westeros is kind of like Britain. So there's like Hadrian's Wall or whatever it is, the wall. Or not the Antonine Wall. It's like kind of big. When it snows, just a big line that goes right across the thing. When you don't go beyond that, I'm actually on the wall. I'm only about 50 yards up the hill, but it's pretty much mountain. But it's all just fucking rocks and heather and English people's moors, so there's no farmland. On your couch, it's L-shaped. Well, and I suppose it's good because that means so you can have like your back and then the bum bit being L-shaped. It's good. Popped out chat for a moment. That's it. I think I actually left the thing being on. I keep getting annoyed by the adverts. I don't know if you've been noticing that I've been randomly every second one I've been putting adverts on and just not bothering with the other ones. So you can actually see how it's got less views because it doesn't have the adverts in it, which is really fucking annoying because I keep getting annoyed by the adverts really in the last month on YouTube. Just being 3 minute long, non-skippable bastards, and you're just like, for fuck's sake, and I've got no control over it. I used to be able to say how many adverts I wanted, and I'd put it to minimum, and it was like, skippable ones and banners, yep, totally. And then, but you could select so it didn't put in the ones you couldn't skip that were 2 minutes long, and then they took that away from me. It's pish. Good place to make a noise at least. Well, yes. Thankfully, the people upstairs are noisy as fuck. So it's like, it's one of those things. I've never lived in a house where it's like a flat, so I've got like a house up there, one there, and one above it, and 4 in a block. And it's amazing how it was only like a couple of days and I just got used to the fact that there's noise upstairs, and because they're chasing dogs about all the time and making a racket, it's like, well, that means I can just be noisy as well. I would rather that than they were pure deadly silent, and I was like sitting there going, I don't want to turn the guitar up. If you use Firefox, I used to use, what did I used to use Firefox for? Firefox had the ability, I think they took it away, but it used to be able to download YouTube videos. Only in 720, I think, but you could download. I was downloading my own videos to edit them and put them back out again. There you go. eBay Snipe Mob. Tell us all who else is on eBay. I should get a window up and see if we can outbid her. That'd be quite funny. What are all the good people in ads? I don't know. I mean, does it just stop? I don't even know how it works. Yeah, the mic was under the bass. Seems to have called it, unless it was right under the speaker. You have to dig ours out. I wonder. I mean, let's put the guitar down so I don't get electrocuted. But I mean, so if I tap the bottom of it, because it must be a. If I tap it. You don't know if you really. I think it might have actually got an intensity on it somewhere. Off. I can't read that. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to. Sorry, I'll see if I can put it up there. I'm going to have to do something with that red fender light to replace it when Jen takes it away. It's too cool for given that fender sign. It's cool as fuck. Oh, you got a VPN to take your country to Albania and it's illegal for YouTube to play ads? Amazing, there's a way around it. Nope, you didn't get it. Well, that's the problem though. You kind of know. I haven't done eBay for years, but I used to hunt it. And you'd be looking through, and in fact, that's where I found a lot of the earlier on Japanese guitars, and you'd be looking at it going like that, all right. You know, Washburn Force 2, whatever it is, pickups missing, like that, it's sitting at that pair 99 pence. And you look at it and you go, oh, ending at 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock on a Sunday night. Oh well, but then you look at it and you go, up here, it's ending at 6:30 on a Tuesday morning. And then those are the ones that I got for. You know, I mean, I pulled some guitars off eBay for shit like 20 quid and all that, 30 quid for plus postage. So, you know, under 50 quid for getting guitars that were like fucking Japanese. I don't think that happens anymore. Oh, it was curtains you were after? I thought you were just saying it's curtains as in, you know, it's dead. The dream is dead. Like, no, it was actually you were looking at curtains. Oh dear, I forget you're a woman. A new Ebony Gibson Les Paul special double cut last week in sales. That like a brand new Gibson. I mean, just to be nosy, how much does one of them cost these days? Well, I don't even know how much a normal double cut does. A sombrero, alright, I see sombrero, just sounds things about like sombrero. Very expensive. Hey Kevin, how's it going? Bleeding ads. I missed that. We were talking about ads. I don't know. Like, when you get ads, does it just basically mute? Or are you 30 seconds behind everyone? I won't turn them on again. I'll set up a membership thing where everyone gives me £1 a month. That'll get me more money than I get on YouTube anyway, and I'll just not put any ads on at all. Fuck it. Aye. I will do it. I ended up not getting another computer. I can't afford one now, but I will work it out. Yeah, I'll stop the ads. What I should do is I say, like, you've already paid for no ads there, Kit Kats. I think I can just put membership on and it's like fine. Oh, a Sumbro Strat copy. Alright, so you just literally miss out. You get the live option to actually, you just miss out. So it's like basically here we're just muting you for 2 minutes. So you're actually, if you decide you don't want to miss something, you can just 2 minutes. So does that mean that every half hour or something like that I should just play the guitar for 2 minutes and not speak? Or just repeat myself? That's quite amusing, actually. So a Sumbro, did I know Sumbro? What did you say it was a Strat with the thin metal truss rod cover? You mean like my what do you call it? It matches the Sumbro bass head. There you go. You had to. Yes, I mean that's it. And I sold that bass earlier on, and it was a bass I really didn't want to sell, but I just figured I might as well. The white P bass with the fuzz pedal on it, and I'm after a bass. I need to get the one that matches the Yazuki Telecaster and the Tempest Strat. I need the P bass of that. There is a Pure Amazing one that's maybe not quite like a P bass. It's a bit more like an early P bass, with the big scratch plate. That would be awesome. But I just basically want a white, preferably the most obscure brand ever, FGN, basically the same as the Tempest and the Yazuki. So if anyone's found one of them, I want one of them. You want a bass to go with your Sumbro SG. Who's $1 per sub black catching? Yeah, totally. What's the who's done it? There's a good. God, it's Marky wants an A20 to match his bass. Yes, there you go. See, that's what I'm saying. They're sitting there thinking, who's got the matching set of anything? Because I mean, I have done it. Like I'm talking about the perfect one, not the same model, the bass and the guitar. I'm talking about the same one because I do have a B28 and the A20, but the A20 is black, so it's not the same. What is it that's the same? 2 guitars this week, so well, I'm kind of a wee bit overawed by guitars just now. That's JPAX is moving house, and I've agreed to take her painted. My second room just full of guitars, and I picked up 45 last night, and they're in there, and it's like, and that wasn't all of them, and it's like, it's mental how many guitars you get. So just keep buying them. Fuck it. Oh. Cut. Nice one, Mr. Whitesnake. Actually, the one, there's a couple. I do have the matching set of. I've got Grant. They did a guitar. I've got one that's made by Yoshi as well. It's like a. Is it like a Strat sorta? I've got like a. It's like a single pickup silver guitar, and I've got the bass version. They're both the same. It's like that is the one. I've got a funny feeling. I've got a horrible feeling the bass has got a maple neck, but I don't think it. No, it doesn't. Basically the same ones. I don't know if I've got any other off the top of my head. Like the exact matching pair. I mean, would like a white Strat and a white P bass work? I don't know. I don't know, would you argue that the Hawk and the Scavenger are the bass and the guitar version of the same thing? No, because the thing was Tobacco Burst and the Hawks. So no, they've got to be the same colour. And the same make. Preferably the same year, but not necessarily. I spent as much on original 70s curtains as I have in 70s guitars. Yeah. I think they might be 70s curtains. I don't think it's what he wanted to keep the light out. But I think it's only, it's like, it could be, they are all sellable. And there is a buzz thing in there. Not in a, no, it's not. I think it's probably the same part of the brain or whatever it is as the gambling bug thing, where there's a buzz involved in it. Because you're not, although you do get people that go a bit mental and go and buy new guitars when the new one comes out, you also get a little bit more than of a, oh, that's an interesting one. Will I ever see one of them again? It's not like, it doesn't have that thing, well, if I don't buy it this week, I'll be able to buy one next month sort of thing. And it's a buzz. Oh. I get more guitars than friends. I was going to say, I've got more friends on Facebook or more friends online than I do guitars. But yeah, I see more guitars than people. I see more guitars than friends in a year. Yeah, there you go. Easily. I'm talking about individual different guitars. When I walked in a second-hand shop and saw that Columbus the Rushford's got, it's mad. And how quickly was it to you notice? Because you do so often see something like that and you go like that, oh, and then, you know, sometimes it's priced at what it should be, and sometimes you go like that, that's interesting, it's 500 quid. The thing doesn't have any pickups in it. What? You know what I mean? So, yeah, amazing. A lot of good deals just now because everyone's getting after Christmas. I think there's a bit of that as well. Yeah, Sloaney. I don't know when it's meant to pick up. I'm just going to I'm just going to have like 10 guitars for sale all the time, and people want it to buy it. I was actually quite honoured when somebody wanted to buy that fuzz bass. It's obviously the idea of it. They've seen it just going, oh fuck, that sounds, and they understood the concept. And it's like, yeah, that means what I'm doing is working. Like the whole idea of doing all the mental shit and then kind of refining it down so it actually makes sense to a normal person is fucking great. Used to have the Harley Benton Rickenbacker 6 and 12 in bass. Oh, you off at the bass? All right. Jen's got one of them. I've actually got a Harley Benton in just now to get done up. And my problem with the Harley Bentons is I can't sell a guitar that doesn't play fucking amazing. And the problem is by buying a Harley Benton, even if I don't pay for it, I've got to do so much work to get it to play to my standards. So I can sell it to somebody and go, here, they're a good guitar. I mean, that's what it is. I don't sell guitars cheap, but I sell a guitar for 100 quid. You look at it and go, up here, well, it's got dents and scratches, and the tuners don't match and all that. Yeah, all that's possible, but it'll fucking play and sound brilliant and last forever. Oh. Let me see a Columbus. See, I think I've maybe avoided the Columbus thing, so I've never really looked at them. I'd never had a Columbus. I've never had a good Columbus. I think I've had a. Have I had a Strat? I don't think I owned it. Columbus later on went. They're basically Columbus sort of the same as the Marlin Sidewinder era, with the Weetabix bridge and humbuckers and all that. Columbus were going at that point, so obviously not Japanese anymore. The actual brand, whether it was bought over by someone else, I don't know. The closest set you've got is the Honor Telly and the Jaguar. They're the same colour. We've got the same colour of scratch plate. The thing is, actually, you can definitely get them. I've seen them. You can definitely get the Strat relatively easily. And if you've got 3 of them, it's a set. Uh, Hey Kevin, the corker sound awesome today. I'm really loving playing it. The tone sounds like the music from the song "In the Mood" by Robert Plant album, "The Principle of Moments." What's the amp and settings today? It's basically the Roland. Well, this is the Street Cube, so it's the stereo, so it's got chorus on it, and it's got a it's wired in stereo, so it's got the chorus on it and everything else, and it's on jazz chorus modes, and I think the gain and the volume are at a third, and the EQ's straight up, not doing very much. None of the pedals are on. It's just a fucking amazing amp. I actually went on to Facebook Marketplace, was it yesterday? The day before? You know, it's like sitting with a fag out the back door. On the Facebook Marketplace, yeah, it just says top picks, and when you're on your phone, you kind of scroll through and you get 4, and obviously because I'm looking for a bike just now, it was like top picks, and you've looked at, and it got to the musical instrument section, and the whole page, it was 4 Roland Cubes. That was it. You're looking like that, not 4 amps or 4 basses. It was like 4 Roland Cubes, different ones, like a micro, a plug-in one, and a couple of streets. You're like, aye. So maybe there's quite a lot of them, and they're really fucking good. I just like one of those things. It's like, especially for doing the recording thing, it's so easy to record, but I'm so happy with the sound, and it goes down low enough. I think the trick is, it's not trying to emulate like a 60s Fender valve amp it's trying to emulate an 80s jazz chorus, which is in its own right a highly regarded good sounding amp. And it's like they made the jazz chorus is digital. It basically is a battery operated jazz chorus. It's obviously it's got amp models and shit in it, but it is a jazz chorus. It's not a model of one. That's my way of thinking of it anyway. So get one. Oh, sorry, it's tough. I know. I'm sorry. I need to come down and see you at some point. Me and Jen will do a charity shop run, come around and annoy you, make you stare at some of our guitars. I mean, just get stuck into playing the... try and put more into playing the guitar and less into looking up guitars, which is what we're all guilty of. My guitar's about friends. That's because you treat them so badly, Mr. Whitesnake. You know what I mean? Of course they don't get along. Oh... Mid-70s, 80s Columbus stuff is pretty good as long as it's not the cheap stuff. Aye, that's the thing. Whereas it's not a... It's like, yes, if you could look at it, if you can get to see it, or once you know what it is you're looking for, you can buy it. I mean, that's the only reason I can buy things like that Yuzuki and the Tempest. I know exactly what I'm looking at, even from a photo when I go around. I know exactly what it is, even though it doesn't say on it. It makes such difference. Yeah, the same torch scratch, but that's it then, Alex. You do have the matching set. Although... it's not a natural sounding set, is it? To have a Telecaster and a Jazzmaster or a Jaguar. The more natural sounding is Tele and Strat. Okay? Tele and P-Bass. Strat and P-Bass. But yeah, I think you should get the bass version. And fuck it. You'll find them, Alex. You know you'll end up seeing it, and it'll only be 90 quid or 100 quid, and it'll be purely because of the colour. Even though you've got a bass and you've got a Strat, you'll end up doing it, bet you. A gold tooth one, like a string tree ferrule tuner pickguard screw. I quite like that, actually. Yes, I've done that. I mean, all the Buckycasters are always been like that. Even the ones before they were called Buckycasters were always basically just different ones off different guitars. I would just swap shit about. You know what I mean? But yeah, it's great. Don't say the good Columbus. The thing is, it's like, what have they got in common? They both look like a Les Paul and have Columbus on them. They're not made in the same place. You know what I mean? It's a blessing if you're in the know. You can find, yeah, exactly. Totally get it. I feel a wee bit the same that way as well. And I think that guy that I got the Yuzuki off was kind of chancing his arm selling it. I'm pretty sure he told me he bought it at a charity shop for 20 quid. And I just don't really like tellies. The thing was fucking immaculate. Like, and that's for a Telecaster. All white. I had to come. Also, during the summer when it's actually not fucking... See, today, I don't know, maybe it's just where I am, but I woke up about, I don't know, about 8:30, something like that, and just now it kind of gets light, the sun comes up, and there's I can see mountains over there where the sun comes up behind it. It's like, it's quite a lift, and it never really came up, and it was just grey, so I kind of pissed about a bit, and it's like the sun never came up, and I was up here, had a couple of cups of coffee, had a shower, and then I went down to Home Bargains to get some toothpaste, and what was it actually needed? I can't remember, but I went down and got it anyway, and it was dark, and then it's like, so I was sitting here and I got lost playing the guitar for about 2 hours, and then I went down and dropped off that guitar, and I was like, it was still fucking dark, and it was only like 2:30, and you're like, what the fuck's going on? It's really depressing. I don't know if it's just Kilseath, I don't remember. I think maybe it's just because I could see a bit further. It was probably just as dark as this in Milton Campsie, but I never really looked out the windows there. Oh. Ones with the truss rod adjuster at the butt of the neck are the ones to get. Don't go for the truss rod adjuster at the headstock version. They're the cheap. See, these are things, I totally get it. I get that from, see, the FGN, the Fujigen guitars where you've got the metal truss rods cover. As soon as you recognise that, and it's like, it's not like, oh, that's a bit similar to, you go, that's fucking exactly the same as a truss rod cover on my Antoria Telecaster. That's a good one. Da-da! Do you know what I mean? Because you won't see that exact one on any of the cheap ones. Wee things to look for. Yes, that's not... So when you get yourself some sort of jazz chorus sound, Strats are good. And the trick is, also have the trem floating so it's actually working. They're harder to play, Strats. It's bad in it, Kit Kat. The thing was, it was lovely the last couple of weeks. I went up to Loch Lomond and had a jam with Dave Arcari, you know what I mean? It was lovely. Even though I was fucking ill. I got out of bed, drove over there, was there for a couple of hours, and then just came straight home and went back to bed. But yeah, totally, it was fucking lovely. And then now it's just fucking dark. The house has a leaking roof. Oh dear. She's writing a blues album. My house has got a leaking roof. The just noodling thing, but I don't know. It becomes, I don't know. I just love playing the guitar. It's like, it just comes down to it. It's like, even provided the guitar I'm playing doesn't have anything fundamentally super wrong with it. That's why I have such a struggle playing guitar, selling guitars, because I dig out and go like that, right, I've not played that West Tone for a year, I'm not going to miss it. I'll just tune it up, and it's like, this is fucking amazing, and I'm playing it for 3 hours. It just happens, and it's like, it's really annoying. Did Dave do his power stance, or did you just keep that for shows? I didn't notice, to be honest. I've actually never seen him. I've never seen him live. He's a funny guy though, and his house is absolutely lovely. It's kind of, living the dream. And he's talking about, what was he doing? He was like, he had a couple of guitar lessons, which is fair enough, and he does he's got like a good deal with National resonators. So he's got like a signature model. He demos stuff for him, and he's got like a wee YouTube studio set up to do. So he can basically, I think other people, they get, it's not Streetwater, but something like that, one of these things. So he can do videos of equipment on his own and send it in as part of his deal thing. I'm not really, don't quote me on any of this, but it seems mental. But it's just the way he was talking about, touring America, and because he's doing it all, him and his wife are like a sort of team. And it's like just talking about getting visas and having to pay tax on stuff. And there's a lot of work involved in it, and running websites and all this stuff. And being a totally cool blues, slide guitar, blues musician, solo artist type person, it's not, hanging about all day playing the guitar and then doing gig at night. There's an awful lot more stuff if you're going to try and do it. I was really impressed with him, man. buttermilk. I see. That's the thing that's killing me about selling that that fuzz base is the fact it's white. It's just my excuse. I need a white pea base. I need a white pea base for the Sabbath band, basically. I've decided. It's got to be a... Go and see. I'll go and see him at some point. I'll just need to. No, Jen gave him a scratch plate, so he's got that in his Telecaster now. But he was talking about like a mad garden party thing he has every year. It's like pure, it's like a big smoke pit barbecue and a big jam and a band and all that, and it's just like pure just they just invite their friends. Like, yeah. Wouldn't it be nice to be on that list? I don't think we put up that. I think it's probably more for executive types, but yeah, or proper fans, not just the guy who helped you move and some mad crazy woman who paints guitars. The things I'm finding, see with this, the thing about this spacey chorus thing is it's kind of easy to keep going, which is why I don't like it, but also what I'm kind of getting into liking it. You can just, it's kind of fills out more of the band that isn't there, sort of thing, so you don't have to play as much. But the other thing is like, try to sell amps. Like, what everyone playing through? I mean, even that's I think one of the reasons I keep seeing these rolling cubes is folk are selling cubes, and they're now cheap because the amps that you used to be able to get for 50 quid don't exist anymore, or they're just free. Nobody will buy them. Like your 10, 15, 20 watt Marshalls and Fender 15Gs and all that. You know, not the shittest practice amps, but the first lower end of the good make practice amps, which used to be what everybody played through for the first guitar or two, and they've just completely disappeared. They're just worth nothing. I'm not super happy with technology the way it goes all the time. Well, I lost that. I can't help it playing clean. The chorus is new, but the clean, I can't deny the clean. The clean's been here for a while. If you want to show off, you got to play clean. It's got such a vocal quality, this guitar. It's got up at, is it possible to catch up at double speed? There's your sort. I think we've just sorted the problem earlier on, because I kind of got to put adverts on, otherwise nobody watches, but obviously I don't want people to watch adverts. I don't get any money for it anyway. Well, fuck all. But yeah, so what if you get like a minute adverts, you get the option after it to either go live or continue on like a minute behind time. But if you can speed it up, why don't you just speed it up for 2 minutes? Yeah, a good idea. I like it. But super distortion and rat pedal when I come back on. I made a Frankenstein P bass with old Encore, white body, Harley Benton, matte black neck, black hardware and a red tortoiseshell scratch plate. Looks brilliant. Yes, X-Paps. What you want to do is get an EBO pickup from AliExpress or Temu and stick it in the neck. That's what I did with that last one. It was fucking great. Also the other, actually, maybe easier, that pickup. That one there, like it's like a 4-string Strat pickup for like a telly bass. If you've got a P bass, that'll go in the neck. Lovely. And then just put another volume controller while it's a jazz bass. That'd be fucking great. It sounds really good. The overlords would make it tough to do anything, even The music has difficulty rocking through. I know. Yeah. It's an amazing practice period. It's the first amp ever. I see you've had. I know. The thing is, they are good, but it's like, but you just have a pile of them. You know, it's like. I mean, okay, you do sometimes get amps that you really can't get a good sound out of, but there's not that many, provided it's not broken. You know what I mean? It's like you're sitting there, and I still maintain that like the Roland Microcube is on the jazz chorus setting. It doesn't even sound good for it's a fucking good sound compared to anything. You know what I mean? It's like, it's great. Talking of poops, £1.16, oh, for fuck's sake. Yeah, no, I mean, how can you go wrong? The Microcube, it's just the best amp ever. And obviously, break into it, do what I did. You go into see where the headphone socket is. You go in and you short out two of the connectors on the actual PCB of the socket of the headphone things. That means when you stick a lead into the headphone socket, it doesn't turn off the internal speaker. And then you can take a stereo out lead, like an insert lead, out of that into your fucking USB audio interface, and then you get stereo chorus. Oh, I don't know if you get stereo chorus out of the Microcube, but it works basically, and then that's basically what I'm doing right now. It's just fucking, that's it. No fanning about with mics, no levels. It sounds the best guitar sound I've ever had on YouTube easily. Oh. So many PVs be listening for heavy money at the moment. I said someone's got a fucking. I've got a Valve King 50 watt, and it's like but I got it was like a £400 amp. They're fucking good, and I try to sell it. Nobody's interested. And someone's selling the 100 watt head on Facebook Marketplace tonight. So it's 100 watt. It might be a 50 watt head. No, I think it's 100 watt full size PV Valve King head, £100. I didn't tell Jen about it because she's got like a Black Star 2x12 cabinet, and she just was like, what do you think of this? See, because, I don't know, because it's a big fucking massive amp that's designed for playing in the studio, she plays it so fucking loud, it's like, it's totally shocking, even to me, when you go in as up here, like, Jesus, you know what I mean? It's like every time, even though I'm going like up here, this is going to be really loud, it's be bang, whoa. Aye. You're not getting ads, just banners in the top. The chat can be closed down immediately. I heard something about banners. I'm quite happy with that. I'm not really bothered whether it's, I've got banners going up and down the bottom, and I get 10 pence a viewer per live stream. That's fine. Just shite about. There's not anything to look at. That's why I've got a fucking plasma ball in the corner. I don't have enough interest to take up the whole screen. Oh. That the pickup from the first style P bass, the tele bass and the wide range. Yes, sorry, yes, it was the very first, or sort of. Also it'd be like an upgrade for like a Fender or a Squier Bronco or my Fender Music Master, which is like a 6-pole Strat pickup. Actually thinking about it, that Music Master has a 1978 Stratocaster pickup in it, and I'm pretty sure I read somewhere on the Telecaster pickups, so it might be the same for the Stratocaster pickups, they were still using the original 60s Telecaster pickups in like 1970, in the mid 70s. They were still the original batch. They were still 78, 79, they were still using up old original Telecaster pickups. So the 78 Telecaster pickup I have might actually be really fucking good. I think I'm going to put it in that. Yeah. Whew. Bandits being listed. I don't know. I remember I remember there been thousands of PVs. Every amp was PVs. They must be getting chucked out. I remember like most practice amps you saw were, and it was always the ones that looked like the Bandit. The Bandit was obviously the good gigging one, the top of the range one, but there was lots of smaller ones, 50s and 30s and 10s that were all the same sort of slightly wedge shaped with a really aggressive Tolex. Like a pure deep groove Tolex and a turquoise stripe on it. I always remember them. Oh, your saxophone bass. I remember you talking about that. I think you're mental. I think I might have. Sounds good. Lipstick pickups. I don't know. The thing is, you say it's a bass. I think it's basic. I mean, I like a standard P bass. It's the best bass sound for all round rock and shit like that. But see, when you're sitting playing in the house and kind of working stuff out, it is really nice having that. Like, there's a noticeable difference. That single coil one sounding, it's like the same difference between having a humbucker and a Les Paul and a Strat or a Telly. It's like it does. Putting a single coil pickup in it does the same thing as it does when you put it in a guitar. It's just got a bit more doing to it. Yeah, Jen does like it loud, dear. Beavis at Land Rover. I don't know, the one I've got, I had to fucking go pay money to get it fixed, but I did buy it cheap because it was broken. It's just I'm in that annoying situation where I paid to get it fixed. You know what I mean? It cost me like 180 quid to get it fixed. So it's like I don't really want to sell the thing for 150 quid. So I'm in negative money, so I might as well just keep it even on. In fact, I might replace the Ashton. It's going down there. Because I ran it in here when I first moved in because it's the right colour. I'll be honest, what do you call it? The amp. The bass amp was in here because it matches the sofa. You get snow, Mr. White Snakes? Yeah, we don't get snow because it's too wet. It's pish. A Strat scratch bit. Would you want it in a Strat though? I love the lipstick pickups. I don't know if I'd want them in a Strat though, because a Strat should be a Strat. It should be something interesting. I don't have any guitars currently that have lipstick pickups. I did have it was a wee cheapy one that my pal had dip painted, and I had two psychedelic humbuckers and a warming lipstick in the middle, which I've still got somewhere. And it was basically the middle pickup I used all the time. It sounded fucking great. It was half the volume of the two humbuckers, but it was the best sound. So I need to put it into something. You sold a pedal, well done. What about the Hofner bass guitars or the knockoff ones? How would you describe? Yeah, round sound. In fact, I'm sitting here playing. That's what I forgot. That's why I actually picked this up. So they do have a bit more. But it's like, I mean, it's almost with the structure. So basically that's what I think a Hofner sounds like, apart from a little bit more hollow. Bandits paid for a month ago, I think it's like Michael. I think it's people are just using their phones. Basically, same thing as what happened with hi-fi. You know, it's like, oh, hi-fi will never die. You know, people always want to have a good stereo system. No, they don't. People want a Wi-Fi Bluetooth sound brick. Oh, I'll pay 400 quid for it. And I mean, considering it's only that size, it's like, yeah, it's quite impressive how it sounds. But even up against a shite 70s hi-fi, it's amazing. You know, it's nothing like, you know, it's a complete. I had such a revelation moving in here. I remember putting the records on. Even though I was using the same hi-fi when I was in my last house, I remember eventually digging out the record player, putting it on it with tears in my eyes. It was like, oh my God, there's so much more music the way it used to sound when I was a kid, rather than being this horrible fucking compressed, you know, just never get any dynamics to it, no bass, no treble, nothing, pish that you just hear coming off YouTube. Basically, you're listening to it right now with me talking. What a difference it makes. Oh, you're down the Midlands scooter. Cool. So where does the Midlands count as? Is that Birmingham and stuff? Even though it's quite far south compared to us, but yes. Yeah, no, Kevin, I think it's there's something about a short scale bass. There's a 30-inch scale that's just, it does something that you can't really do in a full scale. Yeah, it's like I think it also there's an element of how you play it. You know, it's like I think that's really one of the things that kind of broke out the Strat to me a little bit, was trying to play it like a Strat. Don't try and play it like my SG, try and play it like a Strat. And it's like, oh, so you try and do, someone gives you a short scale bass, you try and do some Paul McCartney, and it's like, not saying you have to play those songs, but you start going that way and you go, all right, now I understand that's what it's really good at, so I'll kind of try and play a bit more in that direction. Cash converters always have a 10 watts around the £20. Not the one that seems to buck the trend is the Vox. The Vox one's really good though, Jeff. I think is, to be honest, is the answer. I mean, see, that's the thing. I really first noticed this with the Black Star ID core. I would imagine they're all the same now. When I heard the Black Star ID core, it was like, fuck's sake, that actually sounds like a proper amp. It sounds much bigger than it is because it's got stereo trickery and shit in it. It doesn't do particularly that much, but that's, I think, why I liked it. It just sounds like a proper amp. Oh, that sounds great. Da da da. Oh, maybe have a wee bit more distortion, and you find the distortion, you turn it up. That's you. You know what I mean? You can go deep, but it just works straight up. And that's what kind of, even the Roland Cube, although it only does that jazz chorus sound well, that as well. It's just like the technology in amps has come on. Like fuck. I mean, now even three things like, see that wee Sparker, that wee fucking stupid amp you can plug in at the front of your amp, and it's like, it's fucking all right. It's ridiculous. Oh. Hi-Fi's coming back around again. As always, who held the original stuff are laughing. I don't know. Sony's thing is that I just see, if look at the records, and it's like none of them. Okay, there's probably 20. You know, well, there's one Ducat at the end that's, you know, classical music, and in fact, there's good film soundtracks. You know what I mean? But reasonably, if these records new would be £30 each, but we sell them in Buy a House, aye. Oh. The Vox, but the thing is, the Voxes do sound good. I really like the what do you call it? There's an orange as well, an orange crush. Is it something like that? Which kind of looks a little bit like my TC30, but it's a wee bit smaller, and I think it's 30 watt as well. But it's like it doesn't do a fucking bad job. But it sounds good, and it doesn't do a bad job of actually sounding like that amp, even though they're both kind of the same size. That's a Valve one, so it's like £800 new, and that's only £200 new. It's not that much different. Oh. You sliced your finger on a fret. Got a Yamaha Pacifica and one with a peanut for £90 off. For fuck's sake, Daniel. That's one of my favourite. I was so impressed with that layout. The P90 3-way switch humbucker coil split on one of the. You pull up one of the knobs. That's what I put. What I got Dave to put in J-Pack's #1. You know, the guitar like that one, the official one, because I thought it's just everything. The sounds you get out of that, you've got 5 sounds, and it's just like, yes, fucking great. So we're talking. Oh yeah, totally. I wish I. Black Surgery is definitely the Roland Cube for the modern generation. I suppose it just depends, and it's like, I think it's a thing in your head about what you think is romantic or whatever it is. I like the idea. The sounds I want on a guitar are, I suppose, something like a Hank Marvin-y type clean sound, and then a sort of distortion-y sound like a Black Sabbath, something like that, and being able to sort of, ideally being able to kind of switch between them or blend between. That's all I want. So, But if you go in going like that, you're, oh, I'm the world's biggest U2 fan, yes, you want an amp that's got fucking effects in it, totally. You know what I mean? But I don't. So, but I think the modelling amp thing, because that's slowly, I don't like a modelling amp, but I assume the Cube's a modelling amp, because it does have different amp models on it, so it is a modelling amp. I suppose technically it's not a very good modelling amp, like as I was saying earlier on. It does a really good model of a jazz chorus, because it is a jazz chorus, so you just use that. The other ones are kind of compromised. Not brilliant. Kruang Bin, you ever heard of those guys? MP3 sound sterling crap. Okay, you can have a gazillion tracks on your phone, get a Lin sound deck quad pre-power up on your home. Yeah, Michael. I mean, that's. But I'm just saying that that's kind of like the difference between, you know, going from, I don't know, like a Harley Benton £100 Strat that you've got to one of these Japanese Strats we're talking about, a Roadster or something like that. Going to that, and then so that's you going from MP3 to just a modest hi-fi or receiver amp and a fucking couple of big speakers, nothing, you know, moderate 70s hi-fi, that's that. And then you're just talking about there about buying a, you know, a £50,000 PRS handmade thing. You know, it's like you don't need to go that far. It's better, obviously, but not that much better. I don't think so. I don't know, JPAX. I wasn't paying any attention. I've had more than a half bottle of Bucky, so I'm allowed to get. I can get out of anything I've just said. Towards the east, more in the city, but glad. I know. You know where Colville is? I'm up. I'm going down to download every year. My pal lives in Colville. That's Leicester, not really Birmingham, but it's in England, so. So you see the sign for Birmingham. I take the motorway to Birmingham and turn off before I get there. Oh. Nightmare to drive around, I can imagine. You ever tried a Fender IT25 for a digital modeler? No, I don't like the idea of the app thing, but yes, I've played. I don't know if it was an IT. There was one I remember having, and it was like a... It must have been quite old, because it had like a MIDI input in the back for playing MIDI backing tracks, and it was fucking fine. But again, how much are you buying that for? Because I think these things cost £500-600 10, 20 years ago, and it's like, for that, no. But I mean, now you see them and you're going up here, but you're paying £80 for that. And it's like, even if you're not going to use all of the functions, you know, an amp that was 10 years ago or 20 years ago was £500 will be fucking brilliant. Oh. Some modelling apps go a bit naff, but the Katana does it right and sounds awesome. Great for anyone venturing the audio effects without plug-in effect. Well, that's it. Yes. I just think it comes down to, if you really want chorus, then you get a good chorus. I don't know. But I mean, even the Berkeley studio we go to has Katanas sitting outside. Because I think, can you not program in like a memory stick or something like that, so you can have all your favourite settings on a USB stick, or however you do it. I don't know. I'm not technically minded in that way. And then you just stick it into fucking, you know, the venue's got a Katana, you just stick it in, and that's all your settings already all done with your foot pedal, I think. But there must be a thing to do it that's better. Driving like there's no driving in a major city. Coventry's, I've never been there. Try to lay down some tracks for Spotify. Studio recording has its limitations, or you're just limited by yourself. It's difficult. Oh, you know Colville? Yeah, you ain't no Wayne then. You should come down to Wayne's. Come and see me. We're going to go to... I go to Download every year, the Download Festival, and I always go a couple of days early. And I normally I basically sleep in Wayne's garage. We just basically drink cider, and I basically wire all the guitars for his shop for the year. He's always getting up. You ready? Well, I was at that with a starting the bucket, like, right, go, and it's like, here's this Strat, connect it up, it's like he's literally taking it away and putting it back together again. Here's the next one. Aye, good fun. Carvin is a Clyde Bank word, but okay, yeah. Go spend 50k, invest an entire wall of Marshall amps. The thing is, you can pick up Marshall as long as it's well, you're going to use them. And the answer is, you're going to turn them on so you can use them, but you're not actually going to use them. So just get those MG cabinets. You see them all the time. I mean, never when you're actually looking for one, but 50 quid, you can get the Marshall MG, because at one point they did an MG amp, which was at the top of the range of the, you know, the wee valve state, or the valve state one, 100 watt tranny head, 4x12 cabinet, and those 4x12 cabinets are still kicking about. It is a 4x12 cabinet. It doesn't have the best speakers in it, but fuck it. It's a Marshall 4x12. An Epi Les Paul Vintage Satin Special. There you go. But that's the things that just, you kind of, I don't know, I wish I don't think that was just possible. I don't know how old you are, Scooper Muppet, but if you're anything like my age, so that kind of thing would have been definitely not what you would have for your as your first guitar and amp. I mean, you would an Epiphone Les Paul was, and a 25 watt Fender amp. That's you learn to play the guitar good enough to, obviously you're already jamming with your pals around at the house, and now you're going to be in a band and you need a guitar that's good enough to actually go in and play along with drums. That's what you get there. And it's like, even going back when I started playing, I don't know, would that be 98 or whatever it was, for £90 you could not get an Epiphone. Fucking, there's no chance you'd get that quality of stuff. I don't know Thai funk either, Sony. It does sound interesting. I maybe quite like it. About to rock the sound by Mr. Whitesnake. I would assume that you were taking the piss, but I know you've got a proper hi-fi very similar to mine. I've done the most 70s thing, Mr. Whitesnake. You'll be proud. You've got the same amp as mine, although mine's got the radio in it, but it's the same amp. Speaker sets A and B. So A, Celestion Detons 3-way speakers, floor standards, fucking lovely. B set, we JVC ones that I got from a hi-fi for the kitchen, which sounded tinny, I didn't really like, but I've got one in the kitchen and one in the bog. So I've got a B set of speakers, and because I've got a mono switch, I can choose which one, so I can be hit in the shower with a proper fucking hi-fi playing in mono through the speaker in the shower and have music. And even there, everyone who's got a kitchen radio, it's like that horrible tinny thing. It's not the kitchen, it's the fucking radio, because that sounds bassiest and amazing. So yeah, how 70s is that? Having speakers in the kitchen. Well worth doing. Well worth doing. Like, even if I don't use it that much, well worth doing. It just means that I've got the ability to be, I could be watching a film or whatever it is, and then it's like, go and put the kettle on, I'll pause it, and it's like, well, no, I'll just flip the speakers through, and then I can walk through there and listen to the dialogue over the thing, and if something really exciting happens that I really wish I could see, I can come back through and rewind it. Or I can go for a dump. I was going to say if I'm watching the live football, like I've never watched, well, Tone City Chorus is a cheap but awesome little pedal available at the Captain's Shack. I don't know about the Captain's Shack, but Tone City Chorus, I would wonder if that's exactly the same as one of the Temu ones, in which case if it's one of the Temu's ones, you can get exactly the same one for £8 in a different box. It was especially one, was it? Here's Turn 60. The first guitar was a satellite Les Paul playing plastic body amp from Case Catalogue, yes. That's it. Kids just don't know what they got these days, eh? That's like, I love the thing is, it's like, yes, I know my favourite thing about the satellite guitars is the logo. I love that 70s font. It's fucking great. But you do get, they're alright. They're fine. They're not. It's one of those ones where it's kind of, if it's still in alright condition, it's worthwhile going on Temu and upgrading the pickups and shit like that. Or just keep it the way it is. And it's kind of almost got that Dan Electro thing about it. Sorry if I'm slagging anyone off, but it's got that sort of quirky thing where it's like, it's a good sound, but it's quite a unique sound. It maybe doesn't do Stairway to Heaven like the way you would think it would, because it's a Les Paul, but it does something. Hey John Ways, how's it going? Woohoo! The amp that you and Malcolm, Mr. Whitesnake have, what amp is that? Is it a tube amp or solid state digital? Are you talking about that white one? It's a tube screamer amp. I don't have one. That Mr. Whitesnake does. I don't know what one I've got. Sounds like hi-fi because it is. Get a Bluetooth shaving mirror. I'm sorry, mate, just call me sceptical, ex-paps, but I'm just sitting there thinking that my wee JVC two-way speaker that's bolted to the wall, it's actually bolted to the wall using a Stratocaster bridge in the bog with my 1978 vintage hi-fi playing a record's probably going to sound better than your Bluetooth shaving mirror. Just to be fucking snobby about it. A Zenter. Hey, Michael, it's Zenta. It's like, as soon as I saw Zenter, you're like that. No. It's not Zenter. It just looks wrong. It's ZI 77. 35, good action. It's how you learn. It's most entry levels guitars were fucking awful. Yes, totally. But I mean, it's like Jen's actually got one of those wee Zenters. It does do a thing. It is playable. It totally is. It's just, it's not going to do the sustain thing. Do you know what I mean? It's like you're not going to get that slash sound out of that Zenta Telecaster, but you are going to be able to learn how to play, and it's going to sound fucking good. And if you're playing, I don't know, White Stripes or State, it's going to fucking work for so many things. It's never going to do the Metallica chug. Do you know what I mean? Is it the Hendersons? Yes. I just don't like it. I don't need to more. I don't need different sounds. Fuck it. I need quiet / clean, and then turn it up for loud / distortion. That's it. I don't need anything else. A satellite single coil thing, and Bits only bought it because the decal was put on upside down. Oh, fantastic. Upside of them in. The problem I've got is I've got lots of records. None of them were expensive. So if I'm taking a shower or a bath or something like that, I've only got 15 minutes, which I suppose is probably good for economy. You know, however long, or maybe is it maximum of 21 minutes or whatever you can get on a side of a record. But if there's a skip, I bet you that skip is at the exact moment when the shampoo's on, and then it goes just to there, and then it will start skipping. So you've just got to stand there and try and get that off where it's going. Yeah. And then someone will be knocking on the door. Yeah. Maybe not. They're not looking at wet electrics. So yeah. I would really argue there's not really good any electrics in a single passive speaker. It's not a wet room. You can use Bluetooth in the car. I think I do have Bluetooth in the car because my phone automatically connects. But that's what I've got to yet again bring up the fact that my car, yes, it's a little bit old. 2012, something like that. Yeah, it's getting on a bit. And it's still got a CD player. So you put a CD in, and then in 10 minutes, it's already recorded it onto its own internal drive. So you can take the CD out, never have to put it in again. You've still got it in the car. And I've currently used something like 2% of the hard drive. So, I mean, yeah. CDs. I'm on the CDs. Fuck your Bluetooth. The Madras for the Factory is one of the good keys. Like the Columbus guitars are good ones out there. The thing is, there you go, Stoney's saying that the plywood ones are bad. No. The plywood ones can be good. I mean, I don't know. It's all in the neck. On that when my last car was older, that's just my new car scooter. Oh, it comes down. I don't know. It's like, I mean, I did have a CD player in the Panda, but never really listened to it. So I think it was in the. I think with the hi-fi in that is the. It doesn't even say what make it is, but it's the premium audio entertainment system. Something like that thing fucking plays DVDs. I can play it. It's got DTS on it. And I was like, for fuck's sake, because it does actually have like a subwoofer and 4 individual speakers that you can set, but you can't do the surround sound. So I was like, that must be pure dangerous if you're listening to some fucking psychedelic like swirly thing. It doesn't do that. Auxiliary in the car time will make it that side. You can have all your phone or your car, but barcodes, videos, and more at high volume. Yes. Yeah, scooter. I think there's an Elmaya. Maya. I'm being the pure grammar Nazi of Japan. That's been already. Oh, is that because you've spelt it as Maya rather than Zenta? Yeah, very good. Sorry. It is Elmaya, yes. So I just think you made exactly the same mistake as someone said it was a Zenter just a couple of comments ago. No, not all Ks are junk, but again, it's like K is just it's a company that just bought guitars, so they're buying guitars from Matsumoku. They'll be fucking amazing. But 2 years later, oh, they're a bit expensive. Let's buy guitars from Korea, and before Hondo, Korea guitars were terrible. You know what I mean? It's like it's a 70s one. But I mean, and even then he did make Japan ones as well that weren't very good. Digitize your music section? I don't know. See, I'm just like... I was listening to my phone and my wife came into the home in the car and the phone said, the mind just automatically. I remember when I got in that car, it said something about pairing with my phone, and then about 2 weeks later, the fucking phone started ringing. And it said, like, the speedo didn't, the speedo go away. It came up on the fucking dashboard like that, pure incoming call like that. What the fuck? And there was like a light on the steering wheel. We just pressed it and it already connected. Aye. Spooky shit. It is handy though. But, you had a PS2 and your Mark III Escort, really? I mean, you're all doing the daft things before Bluetooth came along. Yeah, I can imagine. Sorry. I mean, the idea of having like I don't know. I mean, I'm from the era that remembers like, remember the wee Tiger tokens? You used to get like a wee Casio TV that was that size, like a wee colour. And I had a Sega Game Gear with my pal had a TV adapter. The thought that you could watch like a video on a wee screen was just nuts. And now it's nothing. I was actually thinking about that the other day, but like the concept of a video camera when I was a kid was nobody had that. I was actually talking to my pal about Back to the Future, 1985. So maybe whenever I saw it a few years after that, so look, fucking hell, this Marty McFly, and he's got a bike and an electric guitar and a video camera, and you're like, how the fuck does he have a video camera? They're like £1,000. Do you know what I mean? That's like 10 Christmases in a row to get a video recorder, the wee bastard. Aye, or getting a telly and a video recorder in your room, bastard. But now it's obviously all very different. But then back then it would have been when I was a kid, someone had a video camera at Christmas, it would be all gather round and watch yourselves on video. Oh, look, there I am on the telly. It would be an amazing thing, which is obviously something that is not a thing anymore. Oh. The internet says there's a lot of vintage Leslie speakers in the UK. Have you ever had one? I watched it for rocking. I didn't. It wasn't a Leslie thing one, but I did have a rotary speaker cabinet, which was basically cube-shaped and about that high, and basically a cube about that wide, and it was kind of like a speaker, a 15-inch speaker pointing up with like a horn thing with like a spiral on the top of it that physically spun, and you had a 2-pedal foot switch. One of them turned it on and the other selected between fast and slow, and the thing was, in the room it sounded fucking, it was like pure, it honestly felt like you were going to fall over, like pure whoa, because it was just basically taking the output of, I don't know, a 50-watt amp and flinging it over there and doing that with it. So it was like pure whoa. I don't know how the fuck you record it, but it was an amazing thing. And the amazing bit was, see when you turned it on, it was basically a motor that spun the speaker up to speed A, and then when you went to fast, the motor spun up to speed B, but it didn't just go
speed A, speed B, it went whoa, and it's like the bit where you're changing between the speeds or turning it off was all sorts of psychedelic madness. The thing was just fucking huge. I sold it to a studio engineer. It was amazing fun though. Yes. Elmere is oh dear. No, the rotary speaker is hilarious, but I mean, very similar effect you get with having a two speaker fucking chorus pedal like that rolling cube. CB radios, I always sort of remember them. The first take Potter Studios 1980 was £1,000 to record 4 tracks, Michael. I know, I mean, no, you look at it worse than that. That Roy Wood of The Move had sold the rights, the publishing rights and the writing royalties to all of the first three albums, whatever it is, to buy a 4-track Bang & Olufsen stereo record recorder that was basically a 4-track tape, like a reel-to-reel. And he basically lost Blackberry Way and basically the first 4 Move, all his songs in The Move, to buy one fucking reel-to-reel tape machine because it did overdubs. And that basically, as soon as he had the ability, I think it was 4 tracks, you could overdub. He could just do whole fucking albums himself with the cello and all that. And it was just like so much cheaper than hiring a recording studio. Plus you can do what you want. Oh. A TIAC, I don't really know anything about hi-fi. I'm honestly still using the one that was in my mum's dad's house when I was a kid, just because it looks cool as fuck. I've got other ones. I think I've got a Denon, which I think is actually a better hi-fi. I've also got some more short speakers, which I think are better than those ones. But these are, I don't know, there's something about being cool as fuck. You can sit there and go like, up here, I've got my Strat. And up here, oh, I've got my PRS. It's, it's slimmer and it's lighter and it's like, it's a Telecaster and you've got a fucking PRS. Even if my telly is a Squire and your PRS costs 10 grand, my guitar's still cooler. I'm sorry. JHS have just bought a pedal that mimics the preamp. Yeah, I've seen it. It wasn't just it. I've seen it recently. I for that sound, like that was the one you wanted. I used to have I did have a 4-track. I had this crazy thing. Where the fuck did I buy it? Actually, I bought it in Dyke Farm, which is just down there where the guy was getting, I think I only paid 50 quid. Paid 50 quid for it, and this was an Amstrad. Right. So imagine a MIDI hi-fi cube, this size, unbelievably plasticky, record player on top, right? On the front, it's got 2 tape decks kind of on top of each other. And then a radio along the top, and then a record player on the top. Obviously, that's all your bits. And then on the front, it's got like quite an advanced 4-track, which runs on one of the tape decks. But so it splits it into 4. You've got very, very speed on each channel, but you've got like a 6-track fucking desk with sliders on it on the front of this unbelievably plastic looking MIDI system. But you could record 6 inputs at once. You know, you'd two monos and 4 stereos or whatever it was to get 6 tracks, and it was like the old fucking, there was 4 VU meters, and it was fucking mental, an effects loop, and it had so much. It was really cheap quality. But I mean, I used to record the band with it. I remember there's a video of me and the Blind Doug playing 9 Feet Underground, and we've got 6 or 4 mixable tracks on a 4-track, and so you can actually mix what it was you did. It was fucking amazing technology. The problem is, it's just like, again, now it's even worse, but back then it was like people would have a 4-track and they would spend 6 months doing one song on their own, and it's like, if you go to the point of making it all perfect so there's no mistakes, and especially if you're doing it on your own over a long period of time, what you end up with at the end is so sterile. There is no life in the track at all because you spent so much time trying to make it without mistakes, and and it's like, ultimately the way to record is somehow being in a band and recording it live, or try to cheat. Used to rock the Tascam 4-track back in the day. At the same time, distortion always sounded a bit like I did, totally. Hey, Shaky Blues, Happy New Year. In Athens, oh, that sounds all right. It's a retro now, people. I think it definitely wasn't something you wanted. It was always one of those things that you couldn't plug the guitar straight into a 4-track. So I mean, how did we used to do it? I think I'm talking about having a dynamic mic sitting in front of a 20-watt Laney tranny amp. You know what I mean? I'm feeling a wee bit drunk. Maybe play some fuzz bass. Yeah, perhaps you talk about this. It's like is it not? What was it? 404. It's a Tascam 404 mic channel. I think you can get that. I'm pretty sure you can get you can buy channel strips. You know, like mixing desks back in the days at Neve that make the really expensive ones. Each strip was individual, you know, so it's almost like a rack mount, like a normal rack mount unit, but on its side, and it's got the fader at the bottom and all the knobs in it. But you can actually you get people who've built up like a mixing desk, and they've got, because these are all interchangeable, they've got like a couple of, that's like an original 70s Neve hand-wired tube preamp channel 1 and 2. And then, you know, then the rest of them can be cheaper ones because you don't really need to use that for the vocals, or if the kick drum or whatever needs the best channel, all that crap. It's amazing. And then you start looking at something where you really want to mic up a keyboard, and it's like, no, just fucking plug it straight in. Okay, but sort of keeping it real. Yeah, totally. Totally give it recording live, band in a room, mics bleeding into each other, ultimate vibe. Well, it doesn't. The element of the mics bleeding into each other doesn't help. If you know what I mean, I don't think that's a good thing. But you sacrifice. That's one of the sacrifices you have to make to record it all live in one room. So it's the performance that's better. Maybe not the round. You technically are better off having them all separate, but fuck it. You got to be able to hear what everyone else is doing. Hey Doug, Telestrat, there's a 70s Japanese encore in Fleabane near Glasgow. Do you think it's worth the asking price of £90 or best offer? I don't know. What's a Japanese encore? It's definitely not worth it. It's definitely going to be shite. I'm totally going to look that up once I've stopped this live stream and see what it is you're talking about. I don't know. I don't really know Japanese. This is an Indian encore. Nothing really good. Make a smaller version. Metair, have one on the record shelf behind you. Interesting addition. Stereo channel from behind. You twisted surround sounds. What, you mean recorded surround? I mean, I was like, looking at what's that? You know, what would actually be involved in it? I do actually have a boundary. No, I'd need to have some sort of quadraphonic or multi-channel input. In fact, in saying that, could I run two? It's be silly. But why wouldn't? Right, so I've got a stereo audio interface. I've also got another one exactly the same sitting in a box up. Well, you can't see it on top of that bookcase. So could I just plug two audio interfaces into different USB sockets and then record it? And I don't know. I think going to stereo was a bit as far as it was quite extensive. The Dogs Out of Belgium have released a copy of the D preamp. Yes, I think they have. Yeah, totally. The Red Encore. What's that? This one? That might be what this is. I don't know. If he does so, does it? Oh, there's plugins, plenty there. I'll do compression effects as you would prefer. Just a couple. I know. It's the X-Paps. It's the whole concept of doing it. You just want it to be quick, and I can't be arsed learning, which is shit. It's like, I don't know, it's just the ADHD thing in it when you're just like, I just want to do it. I can't be bothered learning how to do it properly. But yes, I should. There's no excuse for not being recorded, and there's no point in using any sort of multi-track input thing. So I don't have a band to record, so it'll have to be one time. I should be fucking doing it. Yeah, I've got no excuses. Benji released copies of everything that's out of copyright. Yeah, they've done a huge rack of synthesizers. Also, they've done a super fuzz, which looks like the original Tone Bender or whatever it is, and it's like, kind of want that just because the casing looks cool. Fuck everything else, it just looks like a fucking 60s Tone Bender. Which, let's be honest, the reason you would have bought one of them, I would have bought one of them in the 90s for 50 quid or 100 quid is because it looked cool. It doesn't really matter what it sounds like, it's but one that looks cool. Oh, really enjoyed the Westfield. Loads of my mates started Westfield guitars. What happened to them? They went under a few years ago, but you know, Westfields are fine. I think by the time I started, I got a few Westfields too, and I think, see, when they did go under, maybe 10 years ago, 15 years ago, I think there was a lot of like failed stock, and particularly in Glasgow, because I think they were based in East Kilbride, so they would obviously get a container of guitars, and they would, listen to this, Harley Benton, they would check the guitars before they get sent out to the shops, and I think quite a lot of them kind of failed at that stage, so they ended up staying in East Kilbride or whatever it is, or whatever their distribution centre was. There was like the failed ones, so 10 years of failed ones, probably a couple of hundred guitars. If you're buying 500 guitars and it comes in and like you're going through them and a couple of them fucking, you've got a warped neck or some damage on them, that's fine. But I think what happened was those guitars got fed out once Westfield had closed down. They all got sold off to some entrepreneur. Then they kept peering up, oh, you've got a Westfield still brand new in its box. And the problem is that guitar was a reject, so the neck was twisted or it was fucked. But the actual proper Westfields, the ones that weren't those ones, were fucking great. I don't know Spectre sounds. To interface depends on operating system. Mac also there's some issues with that. Oh fuck, it sounds complicated, Michael. I'm not going to do it. Oh. 2013. That sounds about right. I don't say 10 years ago. So 10, 15 years ago. Yeah, I mean the problem with the Westfield thing is it's like, if you're going to make money doing guitars, the idea is, wouldn't it be fantastic to produce a fantastic guitar that everyone would like? And the thing is, no. You make a black Stratocaster and you try and make that for under £100. That's what makes you money. So their bread and butter was the black, as cheap as you can possibly make a Stratocaster. And that's basically, so I think 90% of Westfield's guitars are a £99 Stratocaster, no finish on the neck, black scratch plate instead of a white one. And that's kind of, they're all right, they're fine if you get one that's not one of these return ones. But even then, they can be made to be good. They're not shite, better than Harley Benton. Pink Floyd, the Powers, Leslie effects. Leslie effects were a standard, because I mean, you got to think about back in what effects there were, and there was none. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know, it's like, if you look at, there was like at the rotary speaker, because they've been in Hammond organs since the, I don't know, whatever, when did Hammond organs come out? The 50s or something like that, the 40s? Something, whatever it is, so that's like, basically, it's not really a guitar technology, it's a Hammond organ. That sound is, how do you make it do that? We'll physically spin the speaker around. That's where I think maybe even Roland possibly even invented the jazz chorus, where it's like, instead of spinning the speaker around, what if we make the signal go left, right, left, right, left, right, left, left, right? You know what I mean? Just like a tremolo between stereo tremolo, and it's like, well, if you're recording a rotating speaker with two mics, or you've got a stereo tremolo, it's like, it's going to sound kind of the same, and I think that's kind of what your uni vibes and all that shit. First bass was a Westfield, bought for 20, sold it for 50. There you go. That's it. And it was a Westfield P bass. Oh, it's composite audio. The Behringer Fuzz vibrato and octave are awesome, around £20 each. Oh, you're talking about the wee plastic ones? Yes, I didn't like the fuzz pedal. The yellow one everyone says is amazing. The one that you couldn't buy for 6 months after that GHS Josh said it was amazing. I managed to get my hands on one, and I gave it to my pal Scott, because I didn't like it. I don't know what it was. I mean, it's one of those things that it's like, oh, I really love Hank Marvin's sound. I really love Stratocasters. And then someone says, oh, why don't you try this EMG humbucker? You'll fucking love this. It's pure amazing for playing Metallica. And it's like, well, I don't like that sound. It doesn't matter how good it is at sounding like Metallica. I don't want it to sound like that. I want it to sound like Hank Marvin. It's that kind of idea. My God, am I drunk? Because I totally went off topic there. I have no idea what I'm talking about. Yeah. My women can't afford top tier pedals. It's like, I was watching a thing on it was Anderton's talking about some pedal thing, and it was like 1,600 quid or something like that. And when they were talking about it, they were going up here. This is not really for your touring musician. Like this £1,600 amp sim pedal thing, it's more for, it's like something to aspire to, you know, like getting the Rolex or something. You're like, I know it's like it's that whole thing which I don't really get. I've never had money, so it's like the idea of buying, you know, like a £10,000 watch, so people can see that you've got a £10,000 watch and go, oh, that's cool as fuck. He's got a £10,000 watch. Whereas to me, it's kind of like, I'm thinking better to spend that on that kind of thing. But do you think the modern Harley Benz? I think Jet probably trumped them, but the Harley Benz, I've just had bad experiences with them. To dial it, it's not meant to be a pretty sound, just a scab ripper. Well, I want the ability to sound like, I mean, it's fucking amazing. Yeah, but the pedals are dangerous. I mean, that whole, you can't see it. I've got a shelf where I just covered, especially when it came down to, I'm not spending £50 on a pedal. Fuck off! I'm not spending £50 on a pedal. I would still say I'm not going to spend £50 on a pedal, but I spent £50 on 10 fucking Temu pedals. That's still £50. Catch you later, Ben. I'm giving up in 3 minutes anyway. I'm too drunk and I keep drifting off topic. End with some fuzz. Oh. But no, they were talking about the amp being something that you buy to show off. Like the people who, dentist guitars, you buy it because you want to go, look at this, so you can show that you've done well. And it's like, fuck that, I want something that plays and sounds good. I love this. I mean, I can play this guitar here better than a fair whack of bass players who spent 50 grand on their equipment. You know what I mean? It's like, fuzz, spring reverb, copycat, Univibe. Well, you've got actual reverb, but you just basically put a mic and a speaker in the bog. So not spring reverb, actual reverb, but yeah. And then you get flange, which became a digital effect later on. But earlier on, it was basically what you did was you rubbed the tape as it was going through, like the master tape, so it kind of pushed it off the head and it kind of off the tape head, and it kind of went. So that's how the original flanging was done, because you were pushing the flange of the reel-to-reel cassette slightly off the head, making it do a mad effect. Jets are excellent. I have played Jets that are fantastic. They don't have the thing. Zombie bit. It's all on the set. Well, it's all on the setup beyond a certain point. Scooter, I totally agree. There's a point where you get, and it's just like, you know, if you're buying, you know, I don't know, like the cheapest Squire Strat, the Sonic Strat, or whatever it is, you can make it play pretty good, but there's no point in putting, you know, like Schaller tuners and a set of bare knuckle pickups at £400 in that guitar. It'll never be good enough to get them. You'll be able to make it play fine the way it is, but you know, it's not honest. It's got to be above a certain point. Once you get to a certain point, I mean, this is above the point. It's not a particularly high bar, but I mean, most of the Harley Benton's I've played would have taken, if you're talking about going to a Luther, a couple £100 worth of work to make it play the level this is, which is what I class as acceptable. With Buckfest. Flange, there you go. I didn't know it was George Martin does it first. Got a lovely HB jazz bass for all my Christmas. I couldn't be happier. Plays well. I couldn't care what's headstock. No, it doesn't make any difference what's on the headstock. I'm just dead picky because I can build guitars, so I generally tend to fidget with them. And to be honest, the last 20 years or something like that, once I noticed the Japanese guitars, I noticed there was a significant jump up from every other guitar apart from, American Gibsons and Fenders were the only ones that were in the same league as all these fucking Japanese guitars I kept having. To be honest, before that, it was the Hondos, the 80s Samick stuff, which you're sitting there going like that. This is as good as what you're buying just now for £1,000 and you're picking them up for £100. And it's basically that is still the case. What you're buying now is £1,000 is like a Hondo 2 from the mid-80s. The same thing. But then I started realising, okay, I'm picking up these guitars for, guitars of that ilk for sub £100, so 80, £100. You start going, but for 120 quid, 150 quid, I'm suddenly getting Ibanez Roadsters and aye. And that's as good as you can get. I mean, it's like, I put my wee red Ibanez Roadster up against pretty much fucking any guitar ever. Even if someone's sitting there with a 10 grand Strat and go like, here, have a shot of this Roadster, going to go, that's not going to be a chance. Oh shit, it's not as good as my guitar. Oh my god, this is fucking amazing. Aye. Yeah, so you're sitting there, you're buying a lovely Sumbro bass for 50 quid. You don't really hardly bet, but it's also just a thing of throw out the window the whole concept of it being more of being a better guitar or whatever it is. But that's not the point. The point is you've got something extremely exciting, whereas for £50 you don't get a Harley Benton. For £100 you get like a shit one, and it's not exciting. I mean, if someone said I've got a Harley Benton, okay, I've actually got one right here. And to be fair, I actually did like the last one of these I had. But I mean, see that I don't have a problem. Mind you, I like Brian May. I mean, I can see that. If I was a Queen fan, I would buy that. To be honest, I would. I'd rewire it because that's actually why I've got it in, to rewire it. But they're not all bad. Build, I know what you mean with the build quality, yeah. It's just because I'm dead picky and I've been taking them to bits, and it's just that thing about. See, I mean, I know it doesn't make any difference in any way it sounds, but something like that, the black EBO I bought, the Eros one, the thing was fucking minging. It's been painted with, bitumen or something like that at some point. It looks shit. One of the pickups didn't work. This is crap. It is. See, as soon as I took the cover off for the truss rod and tried to turn it, it was like, oh. It's a Japanese guitar, even though the thing's 50 years old and fucking minging. Every screw came out straight. Everything was in a straight line. It's like, ba-da! That's just not... The build quality is pish. The parts and the CNC bits are brilliant now, but there's zero build quality. It's just basically someone who just goes, neck, took it 4 bolts, next pickup. There's no build quality. But I mean, the computers are just that good at putting it together, but there's no build quality. I always said spending more than £700 on a guitar is just money for a logo worked on by a high-end, cheaper brand. Might have been reckoned felt good. Well, that's it, aye. It's all about I mean, you do get the point where you get excessive stuff, and it's that whole showing off thing. When that fucking Corker guitar I was playing, there's fucking one piece of solid walnut, you know what I mean? And it's got all the stupid stuff on it, which is nice having the fancy stuff. I'm not saying it makes it sound any different. Washburn Falcon. I mean, get a PRS with the money, but didn't have the best. Well, there you go, Michael. That's the thing. I mean, if you to look at your Washburn Falcon and then think, oh, I'll have a guitar Look for a guitar with a better spec than that. Forget the build quality. The build quality is as good as it gets anyway. You know, Yamaki built. They don't even exist. Do you know what I mean? Okay, you do get 10 grand PRSs and shit like that. You know what I mean? You're maybe not at that level, but you're up at 5 grand or something just to make it. Regardless of who it is that makes it, it's just gonna. It's excessive. I mean, I don't really. I love and hate the Falcon. It's excessive. It doesn't need to have the solid rosewood top, the 5-piece neck, all that shit. It's all kind of excessive and show-offy, and it doesn't really. But it is the one where I do show it off to people. Is that pure? Is that pure? Oh, yeah, I'm right into Gibson Les Pauls. Have a look at that, and they're just going, no, I don't like that, because you just look at it, you can see it's fucking better than a Gibson Les Paul. Anyone who's ever held one goes like that. No, I don't like the colour. No, they know it's fucking better than a Gibson Les Paul. Sorry, guitar if you set them up, yeah, totally. I just think it's guitars that are works of art. I think so, yeah. Right, I'm getting drunk now. I started gibbering pish again. This might be one of those live streams that I have to put private afterwards. I don't remember what I'm talking about. It's difficult to get rid of guitars. The problem is, it's like trying to sell ones that are good. It's dead difficult to sell a guitar that's good. You know what I mean? Because it's good, and it's like you want. It's got to be sold to the right person. I mean, I sold that white guitar to that white bass to the wee guy that lived a couple of miles away. Not for the money. It wasn't the money. It was the right person. He's going like, "You're fucking sick." I'm a sound engineer. Where did you find out how you put a fuzz pedal on a bass? And it's like going straight for the ego. Like, I fucking you. It's for you. And it's the way you have to do it. Oh, it's like might say the low ballers want delivery. No, it's the thing is I put up a wee bass amp, and within 10 minutes of putting the advert up, I put it up for £75, right? And I got a message saying, "Would you take 40 for it?" I know that this has been up for 6 minutes, and you're offering half the value, and it's really annoying. A pish stream. I have 2 Falcons and a Hawk, and I'll rip the piss out of PRS. Yeah, oh, totally. To be honest, I've never owned a PRS, but I don't have 2 Falcons, but I do have an Eagle, a Falcon, a Hawk, a Raven, a Scavenger, and a Vulture. Went a bit excessive with some of the Washburns. It's a bit ridiculous, but I mean, they are fucking amazing. To be honest, the Eagle I find less impressive than the Hawk. It's got a little bit more binding. It's got a Dexter cut on the back, like a belly contour, and it's got metal knobs instead of plastic ones. But apart from that, it is. I think it's meant to have a maple top on it, but you can't see it because it's pearl white. Anyway, I don't know what to do with those Washburns. I should sell them. I don't know, how much are they worth? You definitely sell it. It'll be good for you. Keep the top 10. Fuck with S. Life's too short. I know, expats. The problem is, what is the point in keeping them? But the thing is, you dig them out and you play them, and if I really enjoy them, and I haven't seen an Eagle. When I see one, I'll buy it. No, mine's an original 1980 Eagle in pearl white, binding all the way around it, and it's basically just a Falcon, apart from it's got double binding all the way around it with pearloid shite, mother of pearl in it, and that scoop on the back, and it's an ebony finger. No. And it's got big fucking W-shaped wing fret marker things. I'll dig it out and make it work. The thing is, there's no point in having them. Actually, there's no point in having more than. You get guitars. I was thinking about this earlier on. I've now passed the thing about guitars that are difficult to get. I'm sitting here and I've got guitars, not ones that are really rare. Oh my god, you never see one in that colour. You never see one like that. I've got things like the Corker here. And I am 99.9% sure there is no other guitars that look anything like this. You know what I mean? The guy who made this didn't make any ones like this. He maybe made a Strat, but that's not what this is. This is a one in the world. It's it. And it's the same with that. The Kraken. It's like, so I mean, how could you get rare? It's like pure, I've got a 1970 Gibson Les Paul. They only made 500 of them. I've got a Washburn Wing. They only made 50 of them. You think of that guitar, there's only one of them. There's like, there's not in that colour. There's only one of them. Same with the Corker. It's like, no, that's not the only one that's brown. And the only one that's made of walnut is the only one that's like anything like that at all. A Washburn Wren. It's a mandolin. Yeah, okay. Very good. I like that. friend, I make a good deal for you. I'm sitting around 50 guitars. I'm like, well, it's like, but what you could have done with the money anyway? You'd just be fatter if you'd spent it in cake. So there you go. Also, if you notice, the more you own, the less you play. No. When you say the less I play, the less variation I play. The more guitars I own, the more I play. I get a guitar excites me, and I will play that. I will play guitar like a nutter. I mean, I totally lost 2.5 hours today playing along with that Medieval CD on the Corker. Like literally, it was 11:30. And then it was 2:00, just played along with one. And the CD's only 40 minutes long, so I kept going back and learning bits. It was just absolutely lost in the joy of playing the guitar. And the problem is, I've got too many guitars that inspire me to that level. I thought, I don't need to have all of them. Oh. Slowly, that's my excuse as well. I've specialised. The thing is, what have I done with all the Squires and all the Epiphones and stuff that I've owned over the years? Oh, they all get sold. I mean, I didn't sell the Washburn Wings, though. I didn't sell the Stage series. I was wanting a Fender till I got one, make me a Roadster. See, I was doing that, and I got the first Fender. Well, I had a Music Master bass, but the first Fender I got was a Japanese the Photo Flame Strat I was playing the other night. And it's like, up here, this is it's the best Strat I've ever played, basically. And then you play the Roadster, and it's like, this is the same fucking guitar. Okay, it's made 7 years later, but it's made fucking the same fact. It's the same fucking guitar, apart from it's a slightly different shape and it's got a humbucker in it. Guitars Anonymous, I know. It's bad. I turn 50, everything will be going. Why? You've got to have less guitars in their age. Well, that's a good way of going. Just have less guitars in your age. I always thought 42 would be a nice number of guitars. Someone said something about that to me before. It's like, the answer to life, the universe, and everything. And annoyingly, I'm a house number 43. If it was up here, 40, it's 43. So this is not my ideal place. It's one off the answer to everything. But to be honest, it seems to have been the answer so far. Fucking loving it. Anyhow, I'm going to bed. Rock on, Ollie. Give me any requests for videos. I've got a Washburn, the guy who I'm wiring that guitar for, the Brian May one. It's up here. I've got this. I've never met a YouTuber here. I've got this guitar. This is the one I bought as a kid. No, I've never sell it. It's my favourite one, and it's a Washburn. I just up here. I've got my guitar. It's if you're interested. Like, I've got so many guitars. I don't know what to do. There's that. He showed me. It's like, I'll maybe just borrow that. I'll just do a wee video on it. So yeah, I've got an interesting Washburn, one that I've never had before. During the week. I'm 50 next year, so that's a cut-off. Like, nah, I don't think so. Why? They don't take up much room. Fuck them. Yeah, I mean, it's different if you've got cars. One of my pals is talking about his pal's got like 4 cars, and these things, having 4 cars, right? You've got 4 lots of insurance and tax and maintenance. You've bought your guitar. What does it do? Sit in the corner, and every 6 months you spend a £5 and strings on it if you want. That's it. Fucking easy. Rock on, everyone. Cash goes. Can't wait till she's 50. I love the shit ones I got going. That's my problem as well. I've got so many guitars. It's like, okay, I've got some guitars that are worth money, but I've got so many guitars that I would probably push to get 50 quid for. Do you know what I mean? It's like, okay. But it's amazing. It's like, I'll have 50 pounds. I'll take that guitar to, away for the weekend and have £50 worth of fun just playing it on my own. It's fucking amazing. Records, guitars all got up for sales. I don't want to die and someone throw the lot in a skip. I think mostly women these days, Sloaney, I think the life expectancy is a good bit above 50 these days. I know if you go back, mind you, you're in the Shire, aren't you? Yeah, but I mean, you're right. What's the point? That's the terror. You always see that thing, the meme on Facebook. It's like my worst fear is when I die, my wife's going to sell all my guitars, and then below it for what I told her they cost. Aye. Rock on. I love you all, and this tune will be a fucking good one. It will be. We'll have some sort of get together, right? We'll have some sort of super jam on the hills. All of us in the summer, solstice, fucking hippie fest or something. Rock on.